Hi everybody, it's Galactic Man Larry here again with another Star Wars The Black Series review, and today we have in front of us a figure that took me quite a while to pull the trigger on, or however you say that. Padme Amidala from the Attack of the Clones film. She's number 81. Well, anyway, I decided to finally get her because, I didn't quite like the promo pictures. I think the face looks much better in person than the pictures didn't did her justice, in my opinion, to that face sculpt, which actually is so good. Having her in hand. I really like this little artwork here. It's really cute. And it's great from the artist. And yeah, there you have her little bio, so if you want to read that, just pause it now and read it yourself. So that's about the figure. There we have Padme Amidala, all the information. This one is from 2018, and I'm just getting her, but yeah, it's no problem. And yeah, I decided to get her because she was like half price in Amazon. I was like, now is the time. So there we have Padme Amidala out of her packaging, out of the box. And the things she comes with are, first of all, this little extra hand. She has tiny hands. She's she's a lady. That could go wrong. But well, she's a petite woman. I don't know how to say that. She's not a huge wrestler or something. Anyway, that hand is particularly or specifically for this gun, which she also comes with, which has some nice weathering. Is the droid blaster with a nice silver weathering there. It's a bit bent from being on the packaging, but it's, yeah, we can always fix that. She comes with this little mosquito gun, well, her little mini Naboo blaster, which is a bit like from the Jetsons. Painted, the hilt is like in this nougat color, and it's all silver, and that first of all can go into this holster here on her belt, which has much more sculpt than it actually needs for this gun. Well, no, maybe it's actually adequate. It has a bit more of a tip than the blaster goes. It's longer than the blaster, however you want to call that. The thing is, I'm curious about is how well this fit her hand. Actually, it goes quite snug into her hand. She holds it right. And yeah, it won't fall. It looks like it would fall, but it doesn't. And she comes with her little poncho thing, her cape, which is all flexible plastic, but with texture, so it looks like if it would have some kind of cozy fabric, And actually, she came wearing that, but I took it off, and just because I wanted to check if I needed to pull the head off or something. No, it wasn't necessary, which is good. And I decided to keep it like that in order to show you the articulation, which has some good and some bad stuff. And maybe by now you know from other reviewers, but I don't know. First of all, the face, as I said, this real photoreal tech for her face is spot on. She looks like Natalie Portman. It's a figure of Natalie Portman, yeah, so it should look like her, and it does. You see the brown hair is painted nicely, just this side for some reason. I don't know if you can see, and I don't know if it's only my copy or all the figures came like that. Like, she has some hair sculpt here, I mean, some sculpt for hair, and the paint just goes to this point and leaves a bit of the, and it leaves that side of her face looking a bit, yeah, look, here is right, even if the ear here is a bit smashed by the box. Well, I just realized that I don't know if the sculpt is like that, but it looks like it's a bit squished. This side is better, or maybe my copy is just maybe from the mold, from this specific copy. But maybe if I hit it, that ear will take proper place. Well, those are little details. We won't be looking at the ears the whole time. We will be looking at more from the front, and so anyway. And she has this very nice kind of, I don't know how that's called, braiding, or this little, the back of her hair is nicely sculpted, all those, the spaghetti going on. And yeah, otherwise she has a very plain white suit with some lines, which is just as she appeared in the movie. And she has some little details now and here and there. These silver kind of bracelets, the khaki grayish boots here with some nice sculpting there. And yeah, that's it. And she has her little rubbery belt here, utility belt or something, with some pockets here and here, and the hilt for the hilt, I just forgot the word, the thing to put her gun on, holster. And articulation wise, she has the arms can go all the way around. She can lift them up to 90 degrees. And what else? The elbows can bend quite far, actually, quite like 120 degrees or something like that. That applies for both sides, right? Now the hands, she has the proper swivel, vertical swivel on this hand, which has the grip for the gun, and this one, which hasn't, has a horizontal swivel, which is perfectly fine, because at least we have one hand doing the right thing, for the guns. The diaphragm, she can tilt that much to the sides, which is great. She can bend that much backwards, which is not that much, but okay. She's not well, she fights sometimes, but she's not like the super trained fighter here. She has only a little bit to the front, and I don't know if it's partly because of the way her upper body is sculpted. I have the feeling they gave it a bit of a too pronounced curve there, so yeah, I think they could have sculpted that cut a bit softer, let's say. I mean, the line is a bit like, feels to me like that could be getting on the way. Or maybe it's just from the inside. Maybe it's the peg and the actual clearance the peg has, Now, the head, we didn't say a thing about the head movement. She has, well, the head is on a dumbbell joint, it seems, and she can look that much to the front, downwards, I mean. She can look that much upwards, which is almost nothing. I mean, it's just a little amount of range, but well, she has this much amount of tilt, just a little bit, and the neck also goes into the upper body with a ball peg, which is, I mean, it looks, for the aesthetics it's good, but it doesn't give her a lot of movement. The legs, she can do the splits that far. It's just, yeah. But now here's the thing: she has like a Y peg to the legs. It's not a horizontal T joint; it's like a Y joint. So they come in a 45-degree angle, and which, as you can see, I cannot just bring the leg to the front, I have to maneuver it a bit weird like this, and she doesn't. I mean, the way of the sculpt, the space on her, this part here, the thigh, and the thigh, well, the thing here, her bikini thing part, it's not a bikini, of course, but the way this is sculpted, it gives clearance to do this, but when you have to move the leg like that, of course, things get on the way because of the way it's sculpted, and she doesn't have much space here to. Yeah, it's just weird why they did it like that. It was unnecessary, I would say. I dare to say, without knowing what actually the decision process was, but yeah. So that part of the hips are super. You have to really maneuver them like the vintage collection figures tend to be, and even those. I mean, they have a weird system, but they have more clearance and movement that this particular figure has. Not all of them, but most, I think. Haven't been fiddling with any of those for a while. Now, she has double jointed knees, which are fine. She has the whole range. She can touch her booty there with the heel of her boots, which, yeah, it's just a thing you can do. The feet can go, they have a decent ankle tilt. They can go back that far, and they can go forward almost nothing because of the way everything, the boot is sculpted. So, I mean, the figure looks really good, but it doesn't move that good, especially in the hip department. Luckily, the arms are perfectly fine. The head also is a bit doesn't have much range. Now, that's how she looked with her cape, of course, because we didn't check that before. I think that's perfectly fine. Now, the hands, let's see if I can just do it like this. Oh, no, that's a bit loose. Well, maybe because I just pulled it off like that. Yeah, the peg is now super loose, but that's how she looks with the droid blaster there. All dancing around now because as I just pulled the hand, it got super loose. That's the thing you can do, but you don't have to. I mean, that's a way you can display her, that's what I mean. Yeah, this hand is way looser than this one. This one I just put it back on and it's perfectly, yeah, it's not that loose. So we'll give her little trademark, her little side pistol or whatever it's called. It's a little super tiny little gun. But yeah, the hips are a bit of a problem, but still the figure looks really good. And I mean, if you can get her, I would say it's not a priority if you don't have this figure yet, because maybe you have had her for years. But yeah, shouldn't be the top of the list because of the problems it has. But yeah, it's still a nice looking one, and surely you can pose her, but it will be kind of fiddly. Now, for some size comparisons, we have there Padme, we bring in Ahsoka, we bring in Asajj Ventress. I should have by now my Aura Singh, but she's still, the pre-order hasn't, she hasn't arrived yet, and the other day I could have bought her from Amazon, but I passed just because I decided to wait, and because it would have been a bit more expensive than the pre-order. But yeah, I would have her by now, but I decided to wait a bit. Anyway, there you have Captain Rex on the wrong side actually, but we're looking at figures, not actual actors or something. I mean, these two are from animated, yeah, but they're supposed to be like realistic, and it's still in a decent scale and everything. I mean, I think the idea is like it would be realistic, yeah. We have from... Actually, I like how that looks. Yes, we'll bring also Mace Windu. I now feel I have to slowly open my Anakin and Obi-Wan figures from the Clone Wars. There we have, well, that's the Star Wars characters, yeah. Then we have from G.I. Joe Classified, Lady J. She's just taller. It's just the way it is. And we have the Baroness, because I just like bringing the Baroness in camera. I mean, she's an amazing looking figure. Who else do we have? From Marvel Legends, we also have again this mystic Black Widow mishmash, and we have a regular MCU Black Widow. Oh god, yeah, there. So there we have some figures. That's it for the review. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I hope this was helpful for you to decide if you want to get the Padme Amidala figure. I mean, the figure looks great. It just has mainly this hip situation, which is, I think it was unnecessary. but again, she looks great, and it's the only decent priced option, I guess, for this figure, this character in this scale. I mean, I'm not sure, but I think, because the other one would be the Bandai one, which is much more expensive. And anyway, those are just at the end you decide what you want, of course. So please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if this was helpful for you, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao, ciao.